Hey everybody, Andre here. I'm going to recap Module 3. So I think in the last couple of modules we've kind of been understanding that to provide good teaching methods and proper pedagogy, we want to try to make personal connections with the students and have them apply that personal connection to their real life. So this really kind of gets in depth with it and starts to talk about dialogue and how dialogue really facilitates that ability to make a personal connection and causes higher order thinking. I took some notes here. Higher order thinking allows them to participate and make more connections, and also builds kind of like an environment where they can find self-expression. Even shy students, and that's a technique I'm going to kind of talk about towards the end of this. But so the first kind of dialogue that I want to talk about is creative dialogue, and it has 4 phases. It has the descriptive phase, personal interpretive phase, critical multicultural anti-bias, and creative transformative. They're all kind of self-explanatory, but I would really kind of heed that third one, critical multicultural anti-bias. That's kind of where we do that thing where we see and not hear, where we kind of look at things in an abstract way and don't bring our own personal experiences into that. Because when we do, I think it really interferes with the student's understanding. By the way, I'm talking from a student's perspective, not from a teacher's. But later on in the readings, we also understand that the way we connect with students reflects a lot how they connect with each other. So how do we facilitate dialogue as professors? Well, I mean, it builds upon a lot of things, but I think the ones that stood out the most to me were creating a norm setting, creating a setting where it's okay to have opinions and to make the students discuss those opinions. I think is probably the most important thing that I took away from this entire module, that if I'm going to start a class dialogue or a class discussion, I'm not just going to kind of force them to start talking out of nowhere. We kind of want them to really hone in on their thoughts, feelings, ideas about the subject. And at least in my experience, I feel like it really works when we do small group discussion. So definitely I'm going to practice in my future teaching making students speak with another peer or kind of brainstorm with each other before we get into a huge class discussion. Because one, that allows them to kind of sharpen their idea and hear someone else's perspective. And of course, listening to someone else's perspective really has an effect on yours. So I think having that world perspective is really important. And then as a professor, we have to do kind of like active listening. So communicate that we're listening and ask applicable questions and kind of invite a different point of view. If a student gives me his point of view and sounds really adamant about it, my first reaction is going to be to ask him, well, can you expand on it? How far developed are you in your opinion? You know, and is he or her welcome to invite different points of view? And then finally, I want to talk about shy students, because they exist in all, classrooms. And I myself used to be a shy student, and as you can see, I'm not now. But we want to invite all voices, and our practice with students when we initiate these dialogues lets those shy students see how accepting we are of different views. We never want to kind of denigrate a student, even if they have a completely askew point of view. There's a way Socratically to have them figure it out, and giving them time to discuss really helps them build upon that. So that's kind of what I took away from this week's module. I can't wait to read your guys' interpretations, and thank you so much.